Hi everybody, I'm Louise from Flower Bowl and welcome back. It is day 5 of Vlogmas. It has been such a fun day. I spent a bit of the day doing some Christmas shopping, and I have to say I came across some really fun gifts that I can't wait to wrap and give to people this Christmas. I love finding that perfect gift, and I think I did pretty good today, if I do say so myself. I'm pretty happy. I would like them. So I'm hoping the people I'm giving them to are going to love them as much as I liked buying them. I got a lot of knitting done this afternoon as well. So let's show the cowl. Daisy's making a grand entrance here. Did you hear her banging on the door? Anyways, okay. The cowl. So yesterday I told you that I thought I had the length done. I ended up, I knit a little bit more on it to get to that 25 inches. I sewed the buttons on and I'm going to try it on. I haven't tried it on yet, but I'm hopeful that I'm really going to like it. So I've got all the ends woven. It is done. And I think I said that I was going to just tack the buttons on. I didn't. I sewed them on really securely. Okay, let's see here. So the idea I had by leaving this open was that it could kind of just sit open like that. I guess you could wear it maybe at the front too, couldn't you? Buttons at the front. There, what do you think? Actually, I think that feels pretty good. I think maybe that's not bad. What do you think? I feel like I should do a model pose or something here. Anyways, I think I'm happy with this. I love the stitch pattern on here. Thinking though, I'm wondering if just because it doesn't have a seam, it just isn't giving it quite that stability, because it seems a little looser than the pink one. But you know, it's not bad, because then when you've got a coat on around here, I think I'm happy. I'm going to say I'm happy with that. Maybe on the next one, I need to move the button up a little bit, do I? Just so, no, if that folds over, you miss the button, don't you? Okay. I think that's my takeaway from this one. Or maybe I need 3 buttons and put one right at the top, just to hold this up. All right. I actually like this. Okay, I think I might just keep this on for a little bit. My other big accomplishment, you guys are going to be so probably surprised. Probably surprised is the word I should use. My poor little sock that I was still on the ribbing yesterday when we chatted. Look at this. I really feel like I need a drum roll for this. Ta-da! I am all caught up. This is 7 inches. The cuff is 2 and the leg and stockinette is 5. This was 2 Christmas movies worth of watching to get myself back on track with this sock. So I am set now. I'm ready to do the heel flap and turn the heel tomorrow. That's tomorrow's work on this sock, is to get the heel ready. I think I can do it. And isn't it gorgeous? Again, it's Timber Yarns. Hollyberry is the colorway. It is beautiful. It's a 6 color repeat. Started up here with the brown, kind of a lime green, then kind of like a wine burgundy color, an olive green, the red, and then the deep green, and then we go back into the brown again. Isn't that fun? I like it. I really, really, really like it. Absolutely gorgeous. I cannot wait to wear these Christmas Eve. And I can't tell you, I am really happy I've got myself back on track, because when I picked up my poor little sock today and I thought, oh my gosh, I am like about 3-4 days behind on this sock. And at first that made me think it was almost a little overwhelming to think I was that many days behind. But each day's knitting was only a little bit, and actually kind of totally messed up on that too, because I had said, oh, like 1 1/4 inches. Well, 1 1/4 inches only took me to like 5 inches or something. And so I just knit the little extra couple inches and I got it to 7 inches where I want it. So I am on track. Cowl done. Sock is on track. Things are looking up around here on my knitting plan. So we had talked a little bit about pom-poms yesterday, and a few people said that they did not have success the last couple times when they tried making pom-poms. And I cannot have you guys having unsuccessful pom-pom making attempts. That just makes me sad. So I pulled out a pom-pom maker and I thought I'm going to just make a quick pom-pom here today to show you that it, you know, it's not too tricky. And I think maybe it's the trick is the pom-pom maker, I'm wondering. And tomorrow we'll go in. I'm going to make a whole bunch of pom-poms tomorrow. I actually have 7 different sizes of these Clover pom-pom makers. So we'll look at all of them. We'll talk about the sizes and we'll make a pom-pom in all sizes. And I'll go into real in-depth on how to use these pom-pom makers. But these are my favorites. They open up and then they pull apart. So I know they do look a little funny, and I don't want to say the word intimidate. I don't know what another word is. Confusing, maybe? I don't know. I don't know what the right word is. But the first time you look at them, and I know the first time I pulled this open out of the package, I was like, what in the world is this? Because everything swivels and turns. But once you see it done once, it's not that hard. And my kind of little trick for doing this is I like to double or triple the yarn so you don't have to wind quite as much. So I just like making these 3 colored Christmas pom-poms. So I'm just going to put this in here. You can kind of slide the tails in between the 2 halves of this pom-pom maker, and then you want to wrap around. You can see where there's kind of like there's feet here and there's little feet here, those little flat pieces. We don't want any yarn on there. All we want to wrap is in this dip, and we want to wrap it really full. I'm actually going to count really quick. So you want to wrap full, and I like counting because then you can get both halves of your pom-pom makers the same. So I've got 10 wraps on here, and I'm going to go about 26. And you want to make sure that you're getting your yarn right up in the corners, and you want to make sure that it doesn't wrap. You don't want anything looking like that. If it does wrap on there, you just slide it in. And you just wrap kind of side to side, wrap round and round and round, and go back and come back until you think you've got it full enough. And when I'm telling people to do this, I always tell people, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. So see how you want it even a little over full. You really want to have this level. And I always go a little more, I go a little rounded. But you definitely want to have the yarn flat there. Over full is better. I always tell people when you think it's full, wrap a couple times more. So that's how you kind of want it to look. And then you can close it up. And you want to have sharp scissors. And then just snip the yarn. Then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. You're going to find those two little tabs and you're going to lift it open. And this is in two sections here. You want them to be the same. You're not just wrapping one piece, you're wrapping yarn around both of them. So you can pull out, get your yarn again, and you can slide it because those two pieces, they slide open. You can just put your tails in there and that just kind of helps hold them. You don't have to, you can hold them, but it's just a little more awkward if you don't. And then if you counted the wraps on the other side, you're going to do the same thing on this side. So again, you're going to make sure that you don't get any yarn on these little flat pieces, these little feet there and there. You want to keep all the yarn in the center, in that dip. And I think I had 10 wraps. Oh, well, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. My yarn's not pulling out here very well. Okay, so I think I've got 26 on here. So then again, it's nice and full. It's over full in the center. And then you close it. So we're going to snip the yarn again here. So there's nothing now, nothing's attached to our working balls of yarn. Now we're going to cut. So this is where you want really, really sharp, you want really sharp scissors. I have like something from the dollar store, like a craft scissor, isn't really sharp enough to cut all of these strands. So can you see in here where this divides right there? There's that little space. There's a groove in there, and you'll be able to feel it with your scissors. And you just want the scissors to kind of follow that groove, and you're going to cut right up the center. Don't let the pom-pom maker open right now, because once you start cutting, so see how you can see where that groove is right there? That's where the scissors are running along in there. And we're just going to cut all the way up the center, making sure that all the strands get cut. And then I always kind of just pull it open just to make sure that everything's got cut, and there looks like there's one red one there. Okay, so that's good. Flip it over and we can cut the other side. Again, you just kind of put the scissors in between the space between those two little tabs, and your scissors will just kind of naturally sit right in that groove, and you cut. Just take little snips and cut all the way across. If your scissors aren't real sharp, you can just kind of cut a couple of layers of yarn and go back and cut the bottom layers and cut the last bottom layers, whatever works. But that's why it does help to have nice sharp scissors for this. And just make sure you've got all the strands snipped. If you've missed a strand and there's something that hasn't been cut, when you go to open it, that strand that hasn't been cut is going to hold your pom-pom maker closed. So if you go to open it and it's not opening, take a peek and see if there's something that just got missed being snipped. Now, before you open it though, we're going to cut a strand of yarn, whatever color you think you want to tie it with. We're just going to cut a little bit of yarn, because if you open this now, you are going to have yarn confetti just fly all over the place. So again, whoop, you can see where the groove is. That's where we're going to tie it. You're going to take your strand of yarn and you're just going to lay it in those grooves till it comes all the way around and tie. And then you got to pull it tight so you can feel it go all the way down into the center. Because there again, if you don't tie it tight enough and you open it, you're going to lose. And then I just do it again. So it's tied. Once it's tied, you can open it. And there again, you're going to go back, find these little tabs, and you can lift them one at a time or two at a time and pull them open. Flip it over. Same thing. Lift both pieces. Find the little white discs on the side and separate it. And just like that, you have got a pom-pom. So then you can shake it out, kind of give it a fluff. And we still have some little pieces here that need a trim. But the idea is that, you know, by counting the wraps, our pom-pom both halves are pretty close to the same size. If you wrapped like 5 more times on one side, it's going to be a little lopsided. Then you're going to have to do a lot of trimming to kind of get that excess yarn. So then just take your scissors, and again, anything that looks like it's a little longer than the rest, just give them a snip off. And don't stress too much about it, because you could spend all day looking at it and thinking, you know, oh, is this, you know, is this a little too long? I don't know. Like, to me, that's pretty much perfect right there. If you, yeah, don't worry about, and you won't. I think the only times that I've really trimmed and trimmed and trimmed and trimmed are the times when I haven't counted and I've just kind of eyeballed both halves, and then you find you do a lot of trimming. But as long as you count, it just takes a couple of snips and trim it up, and there you go. One beautiful, fun, and festive pom-pom. That's it for this video, everybody. I will see you back here tomorrow, and we'll go a little more in-depth in pom-poms and maybe make a holiday decoration as well. Have a great day. Get lots of knitting done, and I will chat with you again tomorrow. Bye.